My boss installed a camera in my office, and he doesn't know that I am aware. What happened next made him embarrassed. I started at this new job not long ago, and since the first day, I've known there was a camera in my office. I don't think it's necessarily weird to have cameras in an office setting. There are cameras in all sorts of places for all kinds of reasons, but the camera in my office isn't any sort of built-in fixture, and my individual office room is the only office with a camera in it. On my first day of the job, I realized my boss was too aware of my actions. He said something to me that threw me off, and I knew he wouldn't have brought it up unless he had been watching me do something. It was just too coincidental, but it was casual at the same time, so it wasn't a direct allusion to the camera he has. But immediately after that incident, I scanned around the room, and I found a camera nestled into a cubby with a small wire that leads into his adjacent office. My other boss has also indirectly responded to my actions in the group chat. The few times I had spent an excessive amount of time on my phone were times that the, "Hey, guys, let me know if you guys need anything to work on. I know things are slow" message would trickle in. Anything that seemed to hint at me being watched was also said or done ambiguously enough that they weren't revealing anything about being able to see me, as if I'm not supposed to know I'm being watched. And that's what is unsettling to me. The camera is pointed directly at me, not the door, not the front of my desk, not anywhere else that would make sense for security. I've looked at everyone else's offices and didn't see a single camera. The camera is pointed specifically at me, and I don't even deal with money or anything that could be stolen. I don't know if I should bring this up. I'm not entirely mad, and I guess I understand the reasoning, like making sure I'm on task or some poop. It just bothers me a little that I can be watched whenever, and they never even disclose that. I feel like someone being constantly monitored has the right to know that they are. Especially since I'm the only one being watched like this, I at least use it to my advantage because I at least know not to be on my phone. Lol. Update. Nothing has changed yet. I haven't brought it up to them because part of me is wondering if they'll eventually remove it. I was curious to see if they would ever bring it up themselves or if I could find a way to hint at the fact that I know. I sort of want them to stay unaware that I know so I can see how they act in response to my actions to potentially call it out in the future. The top comment is pretty funny about staring into the camera. There were a few times where something ridiculous would happen with something, and I'd stare into the camera for a moment as if I was breaking the fourth wall amount. I don't think I'm going to bring it up just yet. I actually really like working here. I get along with my coworkers, and they pay me decently for what I do. For everyone asking, yes, I'm a woman. I don't think this is as much of a sexual harassment case as it is just a micromanaging thing. They haven't done or said anything to me to make me feel like they were hitting on me. Just micromanaging thing. They haven't done or said anything to me to make me feel like they were hitting on me. Just genuine politeness. My guess for the camera is that they're maybe testing my integrity and seeing how much time I spend on my phone even out of the view of other people, which I could understand. But, wow, I wish there was another way besides a camera on me. There have been a few other micromanaging things to happen that have irked me a little, but I still like my boss in spite of that. Update 2. There's no HR, but the camera was removed thanks to it. As previously stated, I still never said anything about the camera. I wasn't really comfortable with it, but I got used to being conscious of my actions, so they weren't seeing anything I didn't want them to. There also isn't some sort of HR to talk to about this or anything like that, but our guy came in, and he asked my boss about it. I wasn't in the room, so I didn't hear the entire conversation. But the first thing I heard was my boss saying that the camera was there before my office ever was. Something about using it to see the front door originally, I guess. That was a weird excuse to me, though, because I'd been there for at least 2 months at this point, and there was no way they could have accidentally watched me as much as it felt like they had been. Hearing the conversation out loud also confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was a camera and that I wasn't paranoid. The guy must have felt some type of way about it because I didn't hear what he said, but I heard my boss say something about, well, it's not like I was just watching her in her office in sort of a quieter, sheepishly defensive way. Nobody said anything to me while they were removing it, but they instead put it where it would be facing the front door. This happened just over a week ago. I haven't posted an update until now because I was waiting to see if the camera would be put back. I really wanted to see if they were going to put it back a few days after IT left because that would have been wild. But it's been over a week now, and the camera is still away from me. It'll take some time before I stop feeling like I'm being watched all the time, though. I'm really curious what the guy said to my boss, whether he said something about it not being allowed or if he called it flat out creepy, but I'm glad he did say something as it got resolved without me ever having to say anything. I'd like to think he low-key had my back. I'd still just been acting as if I've never known and haven't said anything about it, and work carries on.